With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Jackson looking to throw right away. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here's Jackson to throw. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
Quick, ready?
Now Jackson. Now he's going to step. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. So now they operate back from their side of the field here, second and long.
Hey, Alpha, hot.
Now it's Jackson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. He finds his man. It's Charlie Kohler. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Jackson finds his man. It's Kohler. And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
13.
Here's Jackson. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball. Just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case,
we're talking about... And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Tyler Loop now for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he returns this to the 22. Looking to put a drive together. Here's Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Now inside the 25. Cooper Kupp Touchdown, Seattle. Cooper Kupp, 78 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. These two teams all tied after one. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
Pardon, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Flowers going to go in motion right. Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Jackson going to keep it. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Throwing is Jackson. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Isaiah Likely, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
We go start. Start.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. Draymond Jones. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Darnold now to throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's got some space here. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
On his loop for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
To throw is Darnold. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Oh, design run for their wideout. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Alpha, sit on! 180! Sit on!
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Jackson now. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
To throw is Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. On fourth down, on is Tyler Luke for the Baltimore field goal. And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Boy, that's 3 points you really expect to have. That's nothing more than a lack of concentration to me, because an NFL kicker should make this kick in his sleep.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Well, we're in Baltimore. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Open man is Barner, the tight end. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. They'll toss this out right to Walker. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Second and 10. Now it's Darnold. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. That is caught. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here, first and 10. Again, Darnold. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Darnold. This is caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Third and goal. Keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Now Darnold wants to change it up. They'll look to throw on third and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now fourth and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A.J. Barner from a yard out. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. They're going to throw for the 2 with Darnold. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Sit up! Sit up!
A first down carry for Henry. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Jackson to throw. Got his target. That's Kohler. Almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that'll do it for us.